Today is a bit overdue video about the Leena socks that were released on December the 11th. So the pattern's been out for a while, but I still wanted to share it with you and talk to you about it in more detail because the socks are all about detail. So here they are. Before we get into the details, I just wanted to point out that when we took photographs of these socks, I was walking with the socks on my feet, naturally, on wooden planks. It was a couple of degrees below zero, but my feet warmed up the wood whenever I was standing for a longer period of time. Snow got stuck, or the sort of icy snow got stuck on the soles of the foot, and it was a wet mess, and there's now some discoloration at the bottom of my socks. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna wash them and see how much gets off, but even so, I think they're pretty and I'm gonna be wearing them. But don't let that distract you. Right, so first up, so these socks are a fingering weight, are knit with fingering weight wool. They have these knit columns on pearl or reverse stockinette base, and the rib sort of flows into the cable columns. There's one that goes right to the back of the heel and then sort of melts into the slip stitch pattern of the heel. There's also a couple of columns that go right up to the toe and the rib pattern at the toe, and a couple of columns pick up before the heel flap and then continue sort of melding with the gusset decreases and between the foot or the instep patterning and then the stockinette sole. So I really like these little details that just go on throughout the sock. And there's also a nice little twist that'll make the stitching, or that'll make the knitting a bit smoother, is that the cuff until the heel flap is knit inside out. So all of these purl stitches that you see here, you're actually knitting them and you're purling these columns. So it makes it go a lot faster. I know there are plenty of knitters who don't like purling that much. Like I've already mentioned, there's a slip stitch heel flap, and you pick up the stitches from the sides to knit the gusset, and then those form the sole stitches. So in the cuff, the patterning is all over, and in the sole, it's on the instep stitches on top of the sock, and the bottom is just knitted. And the toe is knit stitches with a ribboned decreases. So it's a rounded toe. Let me take it off and can show you the toe a bit better. So that's the toe, and you can also now see the column of stitches running all the way from the cuff to the toe. So I knit these socks with Ike Yarn's merino sock. That's 80% merino and 20% nylon, and the colorway I used is Sparrow, and this is what I have left of my skein. It's a really pretty color, and I think this design allows for these more variegated and busier yarns. So I think it looks really nice on this sock. You need about 290 meters, 317 yards. I used less on my socks, but my foot is quite small, so I took into account that most people have feet that are slightly larger than mine or longer than mine. So you should be able to knit the pair from that amount of yardage, so you don't need a full skein. But yeah, fingering weight sock yarn. I use 2mm needles, that's US 0, and I knit my socks with TPNs, but the pattern's written so that you can use any method of sock knitting you prefer. This one only has the one size, so 64 stitches, which is kind of the standard, but because of the sort of ripping pattern, it also narrows the sock down or hugs your feet, or hugs your foot. So if you have a smaller or slightly larger foot, I think it works well. So it's quite stretchy, the pattern. Or the sock is quite stretchy. So 64 stitches with this pattern should work for a variety of sizes, I think. I knit sort of pre-pair for my grandmother, which is where I just sat down, took a skein of yarn and started knitting a pair of socks for her. And I quite liked the pattern that I came up with, so I gifted those socks. I didn't write anything down, but I played with the idea, and these are born out of that. And because of that, they are named after my grandmother. That's why the name Leena for these socks. So that's it. These are my Leena socks. The pattern's now on Ravelry, and you can purchase it there as a PDF download. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the pattern, and see you soon. Bye!